Okay, welcome back. In our previous video, we understood about what is cloud, what are different service provided for cloud. We understood about very basics of why cloud actually came into picture and why people started using cloud, right? But even though people started using cloud, they started facing difficulties with management and maintenance, right? See, I tell you the real thing scenario, how exactly people work in the industry. Let us set a scenario. So there will be a developer. Okay, that is, I know I'm not about writing diagrams, but still I'm just writing this to make you people understand. So there is a developer 1 and developer 2, right? Developer 1, developer 2. What used to happen before I used that? I'm telling you now, right? So developer 1 and developer 2 used to there two different developers and they used to develop the code. Once they develop the code, they used to commit it or they used to put it in one repository or repo, if I can say. Then once they put to repo, they turn some TE or a manager. Okay, he used to club these two codes at one place. Then he used to make one repo again. Then this he used to give to some deployment engineer where he comes into picture. This fellow used to take this cloud, this particular port, then he used to deploy onto the server. Right? If you see this particular process, person 1 is dependent on person 2, person 2 is dependent again on person 3, then person 3 is again dependent on these two people. This is completely a manual process which used to happen where even though this deploying engineer deploys onto the cloud, he used to do it manually. Okay, this process of building, deploying was everything manual. So then people started realizing, why don't we automate this technology or why don't we automate this process? There comes DevOps. Okay, development operations, or let's say DevOps. When I say DevOps, it is a process of automating the development life cycle as well as the infrastructure life cycle without any hurdles, and it makes the process very easy. Right? Why don't we take one example for this matter? Now what is happening is, if a developer, the same developer 1, developer 2, now these two developers, they start developing and they will be committing to a proper one common repository where developer 1 has his own branch, developer 2 has his own branch, which they develop the code. What is the branch? How to work on it? That will be telling you practically. Theoretically, let us understand what is DevOps at this moment. Okay. So now developer 1 will develop the code, and this manager, he says, okay, now I created you one branch called as the D1 branch, and for you I created one more branch called D2 branch. Whatever you code, you just commit for this D1 branch. What is commit? Committing whatever you develop. How to do this practically, you will understand. Don't worry. Theoretically, try to understand what is DevOps at this moment. So now we have D1. Similarly, we have D2. Developer has been given the branch 2. Now this both D1 and D2 would be committed to common repository where this manager now will take this code and he will make one branch which we call it as a main branch. This is a process of Git. Right? So now this process of making has been automated in a way where they don't need to keep this manually to deployment manager or someone like that. Automatically through Git, this process has been automated. Now what happens is, once we take this particular code, right, this will be committed again to the deployment engineer, understand the process. This process of taking from branch 1 to branch 2, then this main, then giving to deployment, this process of manual, what was happening before, can be completely automated so that when some changes happen to any one of the core, that said code which is to be reflected onto the cloud environment without any manual intervention. Okay, without any person involving right from this step to deploying onto the cloud, which happens automatically. This process of building, this process of deploying, this process of integration, everything works automatically by the tools. This is called as DevOps. For this, there are a lot of tools in the market. First is we need to understand something about the Git. We have something called Bitbucket as well. So let us understand what is Git, where we'll get to know practically. Then we have something called Docker. Then we have Jenkins. Then we have Kubernetes. These are different DevOps automation tools where we can actually automate the software development process, automated as well. This infrastructure management can be automated. When I say infrastructure management, in the cloud, you wanted to increase the storage, or you want to change some software automatically without any manual intervention, or you wanted to interact between server 1 and server 2. So this kind of automation can be done without any manual intervention. That is infrastructure automation. This pipeline building or software pipeline building can be automated. This is software automation. both software automation and infrastructure automation can be automated using this DevOps tools. There comes your Dockers, Jenkins, and your Kubernetes, and so other tools. How to work on it from the scratch, that we will learn, not an issue at all. But at this moment, you must get to know, in industry, there is something called a software development life cycle, right? First, what we do, we try to plan. Okay, we think to say like, okay, what exactly we need to plan, what software we need to build, right? Then we try to actually code. Then plan is being done, then or is being done. Okay, we need to can say design, plan, then we have a design. Then after design, we will code. Once the code is being done, then what we do, we try to test it. After testing, what we do, we'll try to deploy it. Once when we deploy, then we manage it. You understand, this is a process, right? Plan, design, code, test, deploy, manage. This is a process. This entire process I'm telling you can be automated. Obviously, we'll learn. Just follow the channel, you get to know from the scratch, and you people will do hands-on, step by step. Not an issue at all. Okay, so what we learn in DevOps is automation pipeline with respect to software, with respect to infrastructure. What is every software? What is each and every Jenkins? What is Kubernetes? We will learn step by step. Not an issue at all. So at this moment, I want people to subscribe for this channel, comment if you have any questions so that we'll get back and we will answer your questions. Thank you so much. Keep tuned.